Hello, everybody. My name is Lewis Lee from All Ends Media, and this is Playing in Traffic. We do this every Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, live. Our special guest, Garrett Reed. Man, he's the internet sensation.
Mm,
What's up, Garrett?
what's going on, man?
We got my man
Yeah,
Ray,
Garrett.
Motor Mouth Radio.
Yeah,
So,
good to be here as usual.
yeah, man, we here kicking it live with the fellas. We got some fellas in the chat room. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. So if anybody in the chat, we can see it on the side here if you want to talk to us. What else? Please like, share, and subscribe. You know the usual. So Garrett, we met a couple months or last month at a PRI.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was a pleasure meeting you, and
Okay.
I've been following you for a little while. Didn't know it was you. Your
Yeah,
Instagram.
I don't post myself on there as much as I should, and then when I do, it's on my stories usually, and you know how the algorithm works. Sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. So
Yeah. So tell everybody what you do. Like tell them about your YouTube channel and your Instagram.
So I have a page called American Muscle HD on Instagram. Primarily is what I focus on. I also have a YouTube that's the same name, but basically I'm just kind of like I classify myself kind of as like a community, basically where a lot of like-minded, enthusiasts of the American muscle genre, so to speak, come together just to see other people's builds and the high end shops builds. Just like it's just an area for people to like to see everything that's going on in that space. Is basically how I categorize it, because a lot of the content that I post is reshared, but I do curate my own content when needed, whether it be my personal builds or if I'm at events. But predominantly it's just reshared content and like the best stuff on social media.
And
Yeah.
Garrett, that site is American Muscle HD.
Correct.
Okay, just want to get that right so people can get it right and check you out.
No worries.
Yeah, you gotta check it out, man. He posts some hot stuff, man. Anything from drag racing to, just the hot cars, everything. He has it all.
Yeah, I try to make a little bit of everything in terms of the content, whether it be just static pictures, videos, such and such. So it ranges from classic muscle cars to late model stuff to high performance diesel trucks to street trucks to whatever, full blown race cars, street cars. It don't matter what it is, as long as it's has some tie to American, then I post it.
And what is your what do you gravitate towards? What are your favorite types of cars, trucks, vehicles, whatever?
Well, muscle cars are predominantly the classic muscle cars are predominantly what I enjoy. That was the whole reason really by starting the page. I've been a fan of muscle cars ever since I was a little kid. So
yeah,
that's really what I gravitated toward. Because and I'm thankful that I did it the way I did it, and I didn't like kind of box myself in with a specific, brand or whatever the case. Like I didn't make it Chevy Muscle HD or Ford Muscle HD. I have friends of mine that did do very niche, branded pages or whatever. And the problem is they cap themselves with that because obviously they can only post so much and only so many people like a particular thing. But if you try to broaden your spectrum and make your umbrella bigger, even though American Muscle still is, limiting me from like being able to talk about foreigns and Europeans on a more, because I like all that stuff. I'm an enthusiast through and through. So I like all that. But I figured if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to cast the biggest umbrella I can for what I like. And I can fit a lot underneath that,
Well, yeah, it's your rule. So what if you found, say, a guy took an old 2002 Beamer, not the year, but the model 2002, one of those old, and stuffed an LS in it.
And I mean, that's what I'm saying, well, 2002s were in the 70s, actually, on my bad. But no, and that's exactly my point, because you got drift cars now, 240 SXs, 300Zs that guys put blown LSs in them. You know what I mean? And these guys are making 900 horsepower. So who cares if it's in a 300, in a 300Z? It's still got an LS that makes 900 horsepower. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, to your point, you know, somebody puts an LS in a 2002, and we see it all the time. People LS swap 911s. You know,
Yep.
Right.
It's real hot down south.
You know, the best way to get bashed is like, you know, find a guy to put an LS in a Mustang. You know, then you'll get the haters, man.
That's literally 90% of Fox bodies that drag race are LS.
I know. But you know, the Ford guys, like the Chevy guys, everybody's kind of true to their brand, and they don't want to see that cross pollination.
The worst are the Mopar guys, man. They're the Mopar guys and Pontiac guys, like purist Pontiac guys. Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
don't call a 455 Pontiac block. Do not do it.
We got a Pontiac guy in the house, long shot. He's the LS dude, but he's a Pontiac guy.
Well, yeah, I'm a Pontiac guy, but I have a Pontiac in a Pontiac, so it's the biggest thing with the Pontiacs is people will say, hey, is it a small block or a big block? You know, no, they're all the same block. It's not, you know.
I had to learn. I learned that as I grew up. You know, the 400 to the 455 is the same motor. Basically, it's just the bore and the stroke.
Well, actually, the diameter, the crank diameter did change. The big ends changed in 69 or 70, and the 455 does have a bigger main bearing. So there are some other differences that people will hang on and complain about.
It's the same block, though.
Yeah, the block is the same. Correct. Yeah. Right. Unless you want to talk about motor mounts, and then we can talk about 3 bolt and 4 bolt. There's front.
Yeah, that's getting
some have bolt. You know, there's.
I had an argument with a guy that somebody wanted to try to argue that like an LS3 and an LSA weren't the same engine, and I'm like. Then he started getting. I'm like, yeah, okay. There's some oil journeys in the heads that are a little different. Okay, if we want to get that technical,
right.
But they're the same engine.
Yep.
That's it. You gotta kind of with the internet. There's no rules. It's like, you know, usually you know who you're talking to and you know what field you're on. But when guys pull out the minutia card, like, yeah, you can't argue with that. What's right is right. But like, that's not what we're talking about. You know, we're talking in broad senses. So. Yeah, it's a tough game. I give you credit for playing on that field because it's tough.
Well, the funny thing about it is now, especially at this point, because of where I am in terms of my following, I guess, it's kind of on autopilot mode. I engage. The thing that people really appreciate with me, especially my followers, is that I actually still engage. Like I'll interact in the comments. I'll actually respond to DMs. But like to my point, I can choose whether or not I want to respond to comments. Like if people start talking silly, I'm just like, I don't have time for this, and I just let it go. But if somebody actually wants to have a real conversation, I'll have a conversation. You know,
sure.
So that's the beautiful thing. I let people, you know, intermingle within themselves, basically, and then I just sit there and look at it.
Right.
Yeah. Now, for the people in the chat and watching us live, if you haven't been to his Instagram, he's up at 2 million followers.
Wow.
So he's not a little kid.
Oh,
he's putting it down. So when you hit 2 million, how'd it feel, man? What you know what I mean?
I mean, it was a milestone for sure. You know, it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, I got to get there, and I got there. So I was like, this is sick. Let's keep pushing. So I was joking. I think at one point I was like, man, let's throw a party or something. I was like, I'm gonna throw a party. I'm gonna get a cake or something.
Well,
I didn't end up doing that, but I just was joking with it. And I mean, no, it was cool. You know, I show love because it's like, obviously I couldn't have 2 million followers if I didn't have 2 million followers, as stupid as that sounds. So I, you know, have to show love where love is due. Right. You know,
I got nowhere near that, but I tell you what, I do own a muscle car, so
there you go.
Hey, so at least I got some. So if you want to share like a couple thousand of your, you know, the people you don't like, you know, I'll take them. You know,
I wish there was a way you could just offload.
I know
you didn't like. That'd be awesome.
You can't do that. I know. That's great. How long have you been doing? How long did it take you to grow that viewership?
I just hit 2 million followers like last April or something like that. So, and I'm going on my 9th. It'll be 9 years, March 13th this year.
Okay. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So I've been doing it since like basically the beginning of Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
now see, people really don't put in the time, and they want those numbers. You know, you put in time, and now you know you're reaping the time. and a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean it works different ways for different people. You know what I'm saying? Like I know people that and it's the demographic too. Because I know people that have had pages with, way less time than me that have, amassed followership equal to or maybe greater than mine, but they had a different demographic. Like the page wasn't the same, like it was a different thing, so it just varies on whatever the content is and like what type of content, because you got a lot of these content creators now, like a lot of these YouTubers, I'm not a huge fan of their content because it's that clickbait stuff or it's that let me just destroy stuff just to get views. And I don't know. I mean, it works, no, I'm not knocking them because they got more bread than I do. But it's like I can't get with it. But that's the juice. If you want to get a lot of followers really quickly, you go viral. You do that viral stuff. And I just
Well, I was going to say, if you want to share any secrets with us, we'll listen. All right,
yeah,
we'll take some notes.
Sadly, that's the thing right now. That's the wave, especially in the car community, man. It's just that super outlandish content, is just whatever you can do to garner somebody's attention instantly. And I mean, that's with anything. It doesn't have to be like, destructive content or whatever. But if you want, especially with videos right now are the popular thing with Instagram. Instagram started off as a picture app. It's no longer a picture app because they're combating TikTok. So the reels are like the biggest thing right now. So that's my biggest piece of advice is if you want to grow, you have to use reels and you got to be consistent about it because not everyone's going to hit. You get random accounts that have no followers that'll get a reel that'll blow up and they'll get 100,000 likes on it and they'll gain 10,000 followers from it.
Wow.
So it's such a luck of the draw thing. There's no real rhyme or reason to it anymore, sadly. Because my reels will vary, I had a reel hit almost 20 million views and 1 million likes, or just about 1 million likes. And I kid you not, I gained like almost 50,000 followers just from that reel within a matter of like a week.
I can't imagine seeing numbers like that below something I posted. I just can't. You know what I'm saying?
It's an interesting thing,
Yeah. That's one way of putting it.
But the thing about it with me is like, most people would have their notifications on, so you'll be constantly getting notifications. I haven't had my notifications on this page since like I think 6 months into the app. I turned the notifications.
Yeah, no, with numbers like that, there's no way. That's all you'd be hearing.
It was so annoying. I was just saying, like, if I had it on, my phone probably would blow up.
Yeah,
it'd probably catch on fire.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
Yeah.
So what else? When we were talking at PRI, you were saying that you had a couple builds happening. What are you building?
Well, currently I have a 84 Monte Carlo SS. That's my hot rod. Nice. And then I've got a 2014 Escalade ESV Platinum. That's my daily. That's built. And then I'm about to build a 4-wheel drive project.
Okay.
I haven't announced it yet, so that's why I'm not saying what it is.
You got a Chevy guy. So how's that? How's the Monty set up?
It's kind of like set up pro touring, but it's not built specifically to do anything, if that makes sense. It's just a street car. Like it has no cage, no frame bracing, but it's got a 650 horsepower to the tire LS, Whippled LSX crate motor in it.
Okay.
So, it's got a 4L80 swap, full Detroit speed, coilovers, tubular suspension.
Beautiful.
It's got a Curry 9-inch with 35 spline axles, Detroit center section, full Holley, Dominator and all their accessories to run the engine and everything. So it's done up, you know what I'm saying? It's a pretty stout car. But
what do you do for brakes?
Will Woods.
Okay.
Yeah, I would at some point, I mean, I may swap over to Bear. I got Bears on my Escalade, but I mean the Will Woods work all right. It's just the pedal feel is, and we had this issue from the first time we bled them and had them working right. The pedal just doesn't have any feel until it gets almost down to the floor.
Really?
And I don't like that. I don't know if it's that tandem aluminum master cylinder that a lot of people have issues with.
You're using a booster, I guess.
Yeah, it's got the factory booster.
Yeah. See, I'm using Willwood, but I'm using their aluminum master, but I'm doing it manual with no
Manual,
booster.
yeah.
And my pedal is very firm.
Yeah.
Very firm. But yeah, I know what you mean. I've been in cars that exhibited what you're saying.
It stops. Don't get me wrong. It stops. It's just I don't like the fact that there's like no feel in the pedal until it's almost doggone near to the floor. Now, granted, we probably do need to rebleed the brakes, but it's always still felt like that. Now, the Escalade, on the other hand, those brakes, man, they get firm like it's like, and you push like a quarter of an inch on that pedal, but they're 6-piston all the way around on 15-inch rotors. So
yeah, but the amount of pistons doesn't really make the difference with something like that. Did you spend time playing with the rods that go between the master and the booster and the pedal?
So you know what? We actually had that issue you mentioned. It's funny you mentioned that. When we first set it up, we were trying to go to bleed them, and we were pumping the heck out of these brakes, and we're like, why are we not getting any pressure built up? So do you already have the little, whatever, the dowel or whatever that comes out of the back of the booster that will then push the piston in the master cylinder? Well, the master cylinder came with its own piston that goes, inside the master cylinder. Well, what was happening was it wasn't allowing the piston from the back of the booster to fully stroke. So like it wasn't allowing any pressure to be built. So
and that's pedal travel.
Yeah, literally for 2 weeks, we could not figure out what was going on. So we finally called Willwood, and then we back and forth. And they were like, maybe you should try taking the given dowel pin or whatever out of the master cylinder. We're like, but it's supposed to be there. We took it out, and that worked. Believe it or not, it was so stupid. We wasted 2 weeks on something so dumb.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played a lot with the length of those rods, and when you get it too far, then there's no free space, and the brakes will lock up when they heat up. So I like to go for like the minimum amount of play in pretty much any system. And I spent a lot of time doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, from the booster to the pedal, that rod is adjustable. You can adjust that's usually how you adjust your free play, but you can take play out with that as well.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to get underneath there and look at it, but I don't know. We gotta rebleed them at least once. I don't know.
Yeah.
We know what I'm gonna pull some of the fellas in that come every week, and somebody in here probably will know for sure. So let's pull in the fellas. Got Chassis John.
There's the man, John A.
What's up, boys? What are you doing?
Up to no good.
What's up, John?
His
All right,
Instagram site is insane.
All right, here's the crew. Now, these guys here, out of one of these 3-4 guys, we're gonna figure out your brake system.
Well, if you're getting full stroke, but you're not getting pressure, you got the wrong piston in your master cylinder.
Okay.
That's the first thing. So you gotta make sure that when your pedal's bottomed out, you're almost fully bottomed out on the master.
Okay.
You don't want the master to bottom out before the pedal, because that's not good.
Yeah.
But it's got to be close, like 60 thousandths.
Oh wow.
More would fully bottom out the master cylinder.
What year Firebird is that behind you?
70.
Gorgeous. Is it a Super Duty?
Big block Chevy with nitrous.
Wow. Where's the Pontiac Purist when you need them? I'm sure they get mad at you.
Oh, that's why I call a half breed. They hate me. I've been doing this since the 70s.
Hey, don't let him fool you. That's his wife's car.
Yeah, it's the wife's car, right?
Nice. One of my dream cars is a 70 or 71 455 heavy HD.
Yeah. Very cool.
The white with the blue stripes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this car here.
I want a 69 too, man.
69s are neat.
Yeah,
I like the 69 with the white with the 2 blue stripes.
Yeah, exactly. With the wing.
With that stand-up wing. Yep. That's a good-looking car.
Exactly. I tell people all the time, bro, I would take a first-gen Firebird over a first-gen Camaro any day.
I like 69 Camaros.
I think the Firebird has more style and more body
does.
definition.
I
truthfully.
agree. They just don't get enough love, in my opinion.
No,
No.
they don't.
They don't get enough love. No. And they're the same car.
Especially if you stuff big tires under them.
Right. It's the same car. It's just the styling's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Very cool. Well, this car here is actually it's a long story. This is actually an 81 Firebird.
Oh, really?
I cut it all up.
Oh, well.
Put all new sheet metal.
At least you took a desirable.
Basically, what I kept is the roof, the rockers, and the firewall.
Gotcha.
And it's.
Did you source the rest of it to make the Frankenstein?
Turned it into a 70. It's all new China body panels.
Hey,
National Parts Depot.
Cheapest way to build a 70.
Yeah.
Nobody would be the wiser.
It's the long way around, but trust me, these parts don't fit perfect.
Nah, well, it's a drag car, right?
Pro Street.
Yeah.
I don't think this car will ever see the track.
No?
Nah, the other one that I have.
Your wife might take it to the track once in a while.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
See, his wife tricked him into buying that car.
will see a track.
Yeah, tell him your story about your 81. He has an 81.
I got see, that's the
original.
Weird part. It all started with a 1970 Formula 400. Progressed, turned it into a Pro Street car. Car got rear-ended by a drunk. I told my body guy, can we convert this to an 81? Because I got in the accident in 82. And he's like, sure, I got to already change quarter panel and bumper and rear body panel. He says, go buy a pro stock fiberglass nose and we'll build you an 81. So the 70 became an 81. And I raced it and drove it on the street, did a lot of stuff with it, sold it in time for the 1992 Hot Rod Magazine Fastest Street Car Shootout. And the car was number 2 qualifier and was one of the 10 fastest street legal cars in America in 1992.
Dang. That's awesome.
I got the car back a few years ago.
You still got it?
Yeah. So it's a basket case, but I'm going to rebuild that and modernize that and making a lot of changes. I got a Lenco transmission for it. Big block.
That's awesome.
And that's actually going to be, I'll probably be one of the few people that owns a Pontiac big block.
There you go.
Because it's a Chevy motor, but it's going to have Pontiac Pro Stock heads, and they have a Pontiac part number on them.
That's weird.
So there's your Pontiac big block.
That's awesome.
That's why we let him back into the room.
That was done for Pro Stock. They had to have a Pontiac part number on it in order to run them back then.
Right. That's funny.
What's up, everyone?
How you guys doing?
I got my little buddy here. He's got a snow day tomorrow.
There you go.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's not in bed.
That's what's up.
You guys got some.
What's up,
weather.
everyone?
Hello. Hi, buddy.
How's everyone doing? I heard what y'all were talking about earlier about the what's called the LSs and everything.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you heard it, and your computer wasn't even on.
No,
Yeah,
it was on.
He heard it coming through the window.
Right.
Little birdie told me. What's up, Jared, man? Garrett, how you doing?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. You see the picture that we posted up, right?
Yeah.
We had a good time at PRI.
Oh, 100%.
Sure,
You know,
100%.
I'm hoping, man. I'm praying that SEMA happens this year and some more shows like LS Fest. I'm hoping.
Oh well, yeah. LS Fest will happen for sure. I mean, and I work with Holly, pretty regularly, so I'll be at all of those.
Yeah.
What's up, Garrett?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good. Nice to meet you, brother. I subbed your YouTube channel and followed you on Instagram right now when you guys were in there talking. So
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got some awesome stuff on there.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fun, man. It's really fun because, like I said, it's just scouring Instagram and just seeing like the coolest content that's out there and basically just resharing it for everybody to see on a broader scale. Because you get guys, that's the thing. Like I've had this idea for a while where I know a lot of builders, I know a lot of shops around the country, And of course, I know the big guys like, Detroit Speed, Ring Brothers, so on and so forth. But there's so many smaller shops that are around the country, mom and pop shops that build. They'll be building a car for 10 years and show up at the Autorama in Detroit and be, competing for the Riddler. But you've never heard of them before.
Never heard of them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I've thought about doing this series basically because even the big name shops, right? You see the car, they highlight the car that they're building, one of the bigger names, and they'll debut it at Good Guys Columbus or SEMA, and then the car gets all the love, but the shop never gets any love. So the consumers, the people that are fans, never get to see behind the scenes. They never get to see behind closed doors as much as the company wants to show of how it took and how long it took to make this car. So I've had this idea, working with some of the bigger shops that I already know, that will then lead to, the smaller mom and pops that find out about it that want to, get highlighted because they built dope stuff too. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's the thing I love about Instagram, because you do find those smaller shops, every now and again through the explore page, or people will send you something and you're like, oh man, this is cool. And then I get to broadcast it and show it to all my followers. So that's what I really enjoy doing.
Right on.
Yeah.
I basically started my magazine for the same reason, All Ins magazine. And what I do is I highlight everybody from go karts to NASCAR, and everything in between. So I did this. I wanted to do the same thing because my area here in Ohio, there's a lot of nice cars, man, that guys build in their garage, but they never get seen.
So how do you get into that magazine?
It's all online. It's allinsmag.com. And when I see something I like, I post it, and I'll do a little write up on it. You know what I mean? And
hey, Arco, you got to know someone, Arco.
Yeah,
right.
You got to know the guy.
Big dog. Big dog.
Another guy. So me and Terry have talked about doing the same exact thing, is actually going to the shops and meeting up with people like that.
Yeah.
So,
it's a cool thing. It's just it's a lot of logistics with it, man. It's obviously cost involved and this, that, and a third. I've had a couple of shops. I talked to some guys at SEMA that I know and met obviously for the first time. I don't know if you know those guys. J-Rod Customs are out of Washington State. They built that really, really, really nice 67 Suburban. Out in I think my mother's booth outside, and it's on I think it's on a Roth Speed chassis, big 405 tires in the back with an LT4 swap. And that's a bad truck, man. And they build a lot of cool stuff. And they told me they'd be down for me to come out there and do something like that. So I got the chances. I just have to figure out the logistics and the money. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't afford it. Yeah. If it's local people, I could drive down to, Alabama to go to, Goolsby Customs or something, or Johnson's Hot Rods. But I'm not driving this, Washington State.
Yeah. Where are you from?
You got to bring maybe a crew of two, a camera crew, and all that stuff. It's kind of hard unless you have, like you said,
It's a lot.
Yeah.
John, what were you saying?
Where are you located?
I'm in North Georgia. Okay. I grew up just outside of Atlanta in a city called Kennesaw. But I still live with my parents, and we just recently moved in the last year and a half. We moved up to the North Georgia mountains.
Okay. Hey, cool. So I'll have to hook you up with Tony Monroy over in your area, Garrett.
Okay, where is he at?
He's in Georgia, but I'm not sure what town he's in. But trust me, it'd be worth you going over there and meeting the guy and seeing the cars that he builds by hand. Okay. He does. His cars are all handmade.
Oh wow!
And he does these just. Oh, I don't even know how to explain it, man. These cars are beautiful. The stuff that he's building by hand, it's all, and he builds everything. He cuts the glass, he makes the interior, he builds the engines, chassis. I mean, he builds the whole car,
That's crazy. Yeah. That's rare.
Yeah. That's rare. He's on Instagram, and he's also on YouTube. And it's under Tony Monroy.
Tony Monroy.
Yeah.
Let me look it up.
Now, Arco ain't too bad with his hands.
That's what I was going to say. The same thing, Garrett. Yeah, right. You're talking to a master fabricator right now. My man Arco, right there. Check out his site. Check out his page. My man bends his own. He's built. Hey, Garrett. When I say the man is building the car, he is building a car. He's rolling the metal. He's building the fenders. He's building a car.
That is, I mean, I tell you what, I know a couple of like metal fabricators, and that is like one of the most insane artistries. Yeah, it's literally it's artistries I've ever seen in my life. I have a buddy of mine. His name is John Barefoot, and he works at currently he works at Johnson's Hot Rods down in Alabama in Gadsden. I've seen his work, like the progression of the work that he's done on cars that they've had. And to see a car like literally sit on a chassis table and then come back a few months later and the whole thing is made, like seeing him make the fenders, it's like, that's insane. It's absolutely insane.
It's a lost art is what it is. I mean, because there's a lot of guys that don't do that anymore, man. And, and that's what got me so fascinated with it years ago. But, Heidi started saying, hey, you should film this stuff, put it on YouTube and whatever. And that's the thing is like, my YouTube channel was like 3,000 subs or whatever. And when she started posting like the metal shaping videos and stuff and building the fenders and the parts for this car or whatever, I mean, it got me 15,000 subs in 28 days on my YouTube channel. So it just blew up, Yeah.
That's amazing. And honestly, bro, that's the kind of stuff that you should post as reels, Instagram reels.
See, I never heard of that either because I'm new to this whole social media thing, to be honest. I mean, I don't know crap about it. I'm even trying to learn how to tag my videos myself because Heidi did all that stuff. And she's so busy now because she's kind of a bigwig now, and I'm the little guy now. So she's doing all this stuff with her new shop, and so I'm trying to learn how to do all the Instagram and TikTok and tagging the videos and all that crap. So
yeah, it's tough, man. But like honestly, the tags are, I won't say they're not important. They're definitely important, but I would just start by just posting some of the videos, you know what I'm saying? Just making under-minute videos and posting them as an Instagram reel, which they, they give you an option when you hit the little plus button. Because like that's the kind of stuff that you'll walk away from the phone, you'll post it, and then in 3 days it's got 100,000 views.
Right.
For real. Like, and it's nothing that you necessarily did other than just post it. Which is why I was saying sometimes the hashtags don't mean nothing. Sometimes the video just goes crazy. Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm making really good money on my YouTube channel, but as far as Instagram, can you make money on Instagram too?
You can. They're starting to do a program similar to TikTok where you get revenue or whatever.
Sorry about the noise, you guys. Heidi's working behind me. So
you're okay.
What you doing? Unloading the dumpster? Jeez.
Hey, don't pick on her. She only has one eye right now.
Yeah, right. Not to interrupt, but what Lewis just said earlier she comes running in the bathroom. She's bleeding all over like this, blood coming out of her eye, and I'm like, "What the hell did you do?" And she says she was in the back room feeding the dogs. Flipped the dog food bag up to put it in the other one and poked herself in the eye with the dog food bag.
Oh,
it cut the hell out of her eyeball, not like around her eye, her actual eyeball.
Oh no!
And I mean, it was just pouring blood out.
She's gonna be all right. Is her eye gonna be all right?
Yeah, she's good, man. Yeah, she's in here working. Last year she had her finger bit off and didn't even. When we got home, she went and worked out. So yeah,
if that's what you call working. Sounds like she's pissed off to me.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't want to be working with her.
That's wild.
Hi guys, where are you?
Hey,
I have emotions.
Where are you?
I don't know if you can see that. I have pink stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, this isn't going to work unless I can do it in the dark. So I will do it.
So she's doing the emulsion and everything for screen printing, and you got to do it in the dark so that you could dye the. I don't know how it works, but you dye the deals somehow within the dark.
Screen.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you guys, man.
Oh no, you're good.
So as far as like Instagram, you can make money, and you were talking about that though.
Yeah, they're offering what they call bonuses or something like that. I think
promotions. I've been seeing that. Like they want.
Yeah. Well, promotions is like you pay Instagram to promote and boost the video, but there's a thing where Instagram will send you an invitation for a limited amount of time to make bonuses on posting reels. And I had gotten it like a while back when they first kind of pushed it out, and I kind of messed around and didn't set it up. And ever since then, I haven't been able to find it and been able to set it up. So I'm kind of pissed because a buddy of mine was telling me he just got it. And I'm like, man, with the amount of views I've been breaking in the bread, but it is what it is. But
Well, I
no,
got issues with Instagram, and I'm new. I got issues with Instagram, and I'm new.
Well, that's because they're owned by Facebook.
Right. That's the problem. So I was looking around at some stuff, and then I like found this link about, monetizing and the whole deal. And they came up with reasons that I probably can't. And they cited that my content is not original.
Really?
And I'm saying to myself, who the F are you saying my shit's not original? Because my shit don't exist until I do it and post it. It don't belong to nobody else but me.
That's weird you say that, because I have my channel is able to be monetized, even though that 99% of the content is reshared. It's not mine.
Right.
So
it's weird.
Yeah.
And I only have like 200 followers right now, so I'm nowhere near any of that. But I was where do you guys come off with that crap? And and there's no way to talk to these people either.
Oh no, not at all. And that's the thing I hate about
they ask you a question: was this helpful?
Yeah.
Yes or no. But you can't contact these asshats and tell them straight up. What do you think?
Yeah, YouTube's the same way, man. It's impossible to get a hold of anybody on YouTube.
Yet, how come when I listen to the news and there's issues that media can get in touch with Facebook, politicians can get in touch with Facebook, famous people can get in touch with Facebook,
there you go,
and Instagram, but Joe Schmo, no, you're not allowed. So I don't know. Why do I even bother with these guys?
It's a bunch of crap.
Oh man. So that's the thing to start doing. You got to start doing reels, because reels are real.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, 100%. That's really,
I did a reel last week, and I took a DJ that was mixing a song, and man, I got so many hits on that. I can't believe how many people were jumping on that. And it, I just shared it, and I was listening to it. I was like, wow, this dude's jamming, right? And I got all kind of hits.
That reel, yeah.
Now you have Garrett, you have a YouTube channel also, but any good advice on our YouTube channels as far as doing the same thing?
Yeah, the YouTube thing, man, that's a little out of my realm, bro. I need advice on that myself. Honestly, I just know like the basics of YouTube is just consistency. Like consistency is the biggest thing. I mean, Terry can kind of vouch on that or whatever, but it's wild. Like the problem is the reason why I haven't divulged a lot of effort and time to it is because I don't have any particular thing to be consistent with, which is why I don't do it. Like, I'm waiting to start this new build, and that'll be my thing that I do consistently, whether it be a video a week or 2 videos a week, blah, blah, blah. But I'm thinking about it now, just the other day, the way that parts are right now, that may make it hard. And that's another reason why I haven't announced it. And I'm honestly gonna wait to announce it and wait to post content. What I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna backlog content. So I'll probably, once I get enough of my parts in, I'm probably gonna work on it for like 4 or 5 months or whatever, and be 4 or 5 months in, and then start rolling out the content. That way I don't, lock myself in. Once I run out of, parts, I can't make content no more. You know what I mean?
Waiting for a hood for this thing since July.
I'm about 17 videos ahead.
Yeah.
So
that's the beautiful thing about the internet. Nobody has to know what your time frame is. You make your own time frame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So long as you don't give it away. If you don't post on Instagram that the car is halfway put together, but your videos say otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta be.
Well, the other thing is you timestamp yourself if you work. If you're outside, you can see, hey, there's snow. And how come it's July?
Right.
or there's trees, but it's February. Or you live by Arco and there's like sun.
Yeah. The other thing too is
no snow.
Like, honestly, I could care less if people think like, oh, the time frame's off. Who cares?
Yeah,
I'm trying to be right for me. I want to give my people consistent content. This is the way I have to do it. And it makes it even harder now because of COVID and everything's back ordered. So you kind of have to do that.
My web guy says it all the time. He says content is king, and he's right.
Oh Yeah.
Doesn't
And
matter
I was
when.
thinking about doing that where I loaded a bunch of videos and whatever, because there's days where I have, 5 or 6 videos in one day, just quick stuff or big full size videos. But on my channel, I don't even do editing. Like if I tell people all the time, what you get is in real life, that is us.
Yeah.
There's been times where Heidi and I have a knockdown, drag out, screaming, cussing match right in the shop, and it gets loaded on YouTube that day. I mean, that's what we put on there, and I'm like, I'm not cutting out nothing. That's how it's going on YouTube.
That's
And
fine.
if I cut myself and I'm bleeding all over the place, I'm like, you guys are going to see that too, And we try to keep it real, and that's where I think on my YouTube channel, it's one of my biggest compliments from people is when they meet us in real life. They're like, "Man, you guys are the same assholes in life, just like you are in person." You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, 100%. People respect. That's another thing I was talking about with like a lot of these, these other content creators or whatever, is like a lot of them put on a persona, man, and I don't like that. Like that's just not me. You know what I'm saying? 99% of the time, I'm the same dude no matter where I'm at. I mean, everybody has a bad day or whatever the case may be, but I'm the same dude. I'm going to talk to anybody. If you come up and talk to me, I'm going to talk to you. So, like, and I'm not going to put on like some fake, like, super hyper attitude online and then be all, dull in person. Like, no, how I am is how I am, not all the time. And so, the way you are, like you said, doing it, everything y'all do in the shop, and it's the same way people meet you in person. That's good, man. People like that. They don't like all that scripted TV crap,
Mm.
Yeah,
Hate it.
yeah, and
Hate
it's fun. It's been a lot of fun too, because we started my channel 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that, and I really like it that it's grown enough where people like we'll be all over Minnesota, and people come up to us and they're like, I watch your YouTube channel, and I'm like, man, that's like a huge compliment. Thank you, and
really
I'm gonna start. I'd like to start like keeping in my truck, keeping some stickers or something, just to say, hey, thank you, because if it wasn't for the support of the audience, you wouldn't have nothing, and that's what it's all about. It's about taking care of supporting them back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Amen.
I mean, it's for me. I mentioned earlier is like up until recently, I didn't really put my face out there much, so nobody knew who I was. I'd go to a show. And I'm still me, so I'm gonna talk to people, whatever the case, and then I'll get back from the show, or I'm at the show still, and I'm posting about it. I'm there, or I'm posting pictures of the stuff there. People are like, "Yeah, man, you're here," or whatever, and I'm like, "Yeah," but they don't know.
Yeah, because when I first met you, Garrett, it was at the Lateral G dinner. I think 2018.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who this guy was. I was like, "Who is it?" And he had to tell me who he was. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, but now people are starting to recognize me, which is cool and it's weird at the same time.
Mhm.
But when people come up to me, it's like people think that just because you have 2.2 million followers that you're gonna be all like high and mighty and have a big head about you.
Yeah.
Some people are. They think their stuff don't stink. That ain't me.
Some people think that when they have only 10,000 followers.
Well, I know, and it's like
like Terry.
the follower numbers are cool and all, bro. But like, I'm gonna say I don't care. I care, but it's like it doesn't define me.
No.
So like I don't give a damn if I have 10 million followers, 2 million followers. Like, if you go out of your way to talk to me, as long as I don't really have anywhere pressing to be, we will sit there and talk. And I'll share this one story and I'll stop talking so much.
No, please.
I was at the Holly's Mo Party event this past September, and I was working for them. So I was kind of busy. I was shooting cars, and I walked up on this Coronet, and the family was sitting behind the car. It was a son that was in like high school, his mom and his dad. And I'm shooting the car, and I end up asking him a question about it. And the kid recognized me. Was like, "Hey man, you're the dude that runs American Muscle HD." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, that's me or whatever." And he was like, "Bro," and then he gets all hype and he starts telling his dad, he's like, "Yo, Dad, this the dude I was telling you about, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Man, that's so cool." So I sat there and I, again, I had stuff to do, but I sat there and talked with this kid for like 30 minutes. And he told me that he wants to go and do like automotive design or whatever, what he wants to go to college for. So I told him, I was like, "Look," I was like, "Bro, I can't promise you nothing, but like I know designers that work for SRT and whatever. So, maybe when you're done school, I can put in a word for you, maybe get an internship or something. I don't know, just to And he's like, man, that's awesome, man. I appreciate it or whatever. So ended up he wanted to get a picture with me. And I'm like, what? I was like, really? I was like, that's awesome. So I got a picture with the kid, and then we went about our way. And he, he DM'd me afterwards and thanked me for talking with him. And I'm just like, that, that's crazy to me.
You know what's really creepy is when somebody asks you for your autograph. I had a dude ask me for my autograph. I'm like, are you going to try to steal my identity?
I will never get a big head about myself. I've told my closest friends, I said, if you ever see anything change in my personality from this, you hit me upside the head. But I said, I know I've made it when somebody asked me for my autograph. And it's funny because at LS Fest East last year, the cell service is terrible there. You can't get in contact with anybody. A buddy of mine who I was trying to meet him. He afterwards he told me that he got a hat signed by Cletus McFarland, and he told me he was trying to find me to get me to sign the same hat.
Oh man, that's cool.
And I said, bro, you're lying. I was so mad though, because I'm like, dude, I could have had my first autograph signing, and I couldn't do it because I couldn't get his messages. I was so mad.
Well, I tell you what, when they ask you for your picture, that's just like that's an updated autograph.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. It's an
when
autograph.
they ask you for your picture, can I get a picture with you? That's an autograph right there. That's an 80s autograph.
Yeah. No, 100%.
He wants to meet you because he got the same first name.
That's true. That's true. That's what I thought. I was like, you can have two Garrett signed on the same.
Yeah, exactly. That's his name, Garrett.
Hey, did you see what Justin says right here about what is your thoughts on platform? The most beneficial or whatever. What do you guys think on that?
Well, I can tell you right now, and I don't know what type of content you put out. If it's long form content, YouTube for sure. Yep. That's like the only platform really for that. But right now, man, just honestly, it is Instagram and TikTok really are the two strongest apps to get like you want to grow on.
Yeah, if you're going to stand there and dance.
Well, no. It's funny. I know a lot of car guys that have huge followings on TikTok, man. Like
really?
they have a particular car, bro, and they almost hoard out, and they have so much content of that car, and their videos go crazy.
And see, like the other night, I did a TikTok on that truck that I'm building in the shop right now, and I figured I'd just do a quick talk about it on TikTok, and then I did it on Instagram too. And I literally got like 67 subs on my YouTube channel that night because I put on the TikTok. I put on the bottom of it, go check out Outlaw Edge YouTube channel,
Yeah.
And so I got blasted with a bunch of subs, and I was like, sweet. Well, something's working,
It's crazy. Yeah. The cross pollination from TikTok is insane. Like if you link your Instagram and you get a video that goes viral on TikTok, and you'll get mad followers from TikTok to your Instagram or your YouTube. You know what I mean? So, long form content is YouTube all day. Facebook, I wouldn't even bother with really, unless you're trying to sell a product. Then you can have a business page on Facebook. But other than that, Instagram and TikTok.
Cool.
The only TikTok stuff I see is what they stuff into Facebook.
Yeah.
As I'm scrolling through, and it's always girls showing dance moves.
Yeah.
Dina even did one. Dina Parisi.
I know. Or they make believe they lip sync to these snippets of songs, and I'm like,
or skit.
So is this what TikTok is all about? Is lip syncing little snippets of songs or showing you? There's like this one little audio clip that it seems like everybody uses, and they show the dance moves slow, and then they go regular speed, and I'm like, and it's like one after another, and I'm like, what is the world coming to?
I get trapped on some of those when people go on rants. They'll get on and talk about McDonald's cup or something, and then they just go crazy. And then the next video is McDonald's fries. It just keeps going.
Yeah. Now there's some really, really good original content creators on there, like that do skits and stuff like that. So that's I like scrolling through and finding those type people, but yeah, a lot of it is just dancing. But
I would hear it.
Yeah.
I've
seen some videos where I was like absolutely amazed at the dancing.
Oh, 100%.
there's one where there's a camera that's kind of up, kind of high, and there's this long, wide staircase, and there's a guy kind of like dancing up the steps in the middle, and there's two young boys at the bottom. And he like goes halfway up and he's like doing stuff, and then he comes down, and then the three of them are doing it. And the syncopation was amazing between the three of them. And I'm like, oh my God.
You got some
there's a lot of talent
out there, man. I mean,
there's
even the drummers. The drummers are sick.
I haven't seen any drummers yet.
I see this one guy. He took the stick and he's drumming the stick, and the stick is going back and forth.
I saw that.
That was
crazy, right?
I thought that had to be fake. You know, he's bouncing it off the stuff, and the stick like had life to it. I'm like, my sticks don't do that, man. What's going on?
The rhythm he had by doing that was ridiculous. Yeah,
nylon tip or a wood tip.
I love the music.
We're moving too fast, Sean. You couldn't tell.
I love the music TikToks because I played saxophone growing up.
There we go. See, got somebody else to join the band.
We got another member of the band. All right.
Hey, I haven't picked up my horn in probably over a year. I need to go.
Right. We're rusty too.
I need to go make sure the pads aren't dry rotted or whatever. But I was super excited because I found a box of reeds from high school. I've been out of high school for 10 years now, so but. I found a box of reeds that was brand new, still in the package, and I'm like, you know what? That gives me a reason to go get my horn, so I'm definitely gonna go probably play it.
Cool.
Fair enough.
You got to do some reels on that.
So, Garrett, I got to know. I've been wondering this all night. Do you work in a shoe store, or are you in your closet?
This is my closet, and this is just
I had a feeling that's what you were gonna say.
This is just like here. Hold on.
Right?
This is just like.
Oh my
damn!
That's
and
like,
it goes.
That's
and
like
it goes into my room.
Collection.
It goes into my room, so it's like, yeah, I've got a lot of shoes, bro. I've got like, don't judge me. Don't judge me. I've got like 320, 30 pairs, something like that.
I'm not surprised if you met the guy. I'm not. That's why I didn't say anything about it. I was like, I'm not surprised.
I had to know.
Do you stick to one style? Are they all Jordans or?
No, I've got a little bit of everything. I've got New Balance. I've got Vans. I mean, predominantly it is Jordans. That's like 2/3 of my collection. But I've got, Nike, Scottie Pippen Nikes. I've got Charles Barkley Nikes. Everything.
You got any Chris Webber Dadas?
No, I don't have any Dadas, man. I remember the Dada spinners. Remember those with the spinner, like the wheel that was actually on the side of the No, I remember those. And honestly, if they ever came back, I would buy one just for the nostalgia of it.
Dada.
Man.
I like the kids' sneakers that have the little wheel in the bottom of them.
Oh yeah, Heelys
zipping along.
The Heelys, yeah.
Heelys, yeah.
I could never get into.
I still see kids running around with those things in the store.
You never got a pair. If he got a pair, I would have a pair, man.
I bust my behind on a pair of those, bro. That's why I never had them. But yeah, the shoes are like my. It's so my three things. The reason why I don't have no money is cars, shoes, and guns.
There you go.
Yeah, I was going to bring up your gun collection or your I don't know your collection, but your on your other Instagram, I was checking out your shooting, and I'm into guns too, man. And it's rare to see a black guy with guns.
Yeah.
So when I see it, I'm like, unless you're in the hood.
Oh, facts.
Hey, you set yourself up for that one, bro.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know, man. My brother kind of got me into the gun thing when I was younger, and then when I was left to buy them, I bought a shotgun. Was my first gun, and I bought I bought an AR, I think, after that. And then when I turned 21, I got a SIG pistol. And obviously, like anything else, I don't know how to do anything in moderation. So I have a lot of guns now.
Yeah. It's addictive.
That's cool.
Right now, it's not a bad thing to have a bunch of.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
the world's falling apart right now, bro.
Fact. I mean, thankfully, I live in an area where, like, I don't ever really need to worry about ever using it or whatever. But it's one of those things. It's like anything else. You'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Exactly.
But I just enjoy shooting.
Yeah, I do too. I caught myself buying a lot of shoes too. I probably got 100 pair, and then I started buying watches because I couldn't afford the cars. So I bought watches, shoes, you know,
But it's funny you say that. I mean, like,
guns.
if you take the value of those and consolidate it, I mean, you can own a car. I look at my sneaker collection. If I consolidated the whole value of my sneaker collection, bro, I could have my '67 Chevelle.
I got.
Is that your ride, Garrett? 67?
That's what I want, man. That's my attainable dream car.
I got one in the garage.
Is it a convertible?
No.
I gotta have a convertible.
Nah.
Cruiser
With a
man.
big block.
I'm honestly thinking it's gonna probably be a big block.
Could be real mild. 396, 427, 454.
Four-speed car.
Yeah, it has to stay. It either be a 4-speed or I'd go a little modern and go to a 5-speed just for the
good idea
aspect.
You gotta have a 6. Don't even waste your time. 6.
Put a 12 bolt in it so it stays Chevy.
Go straight to 6 with 411 gears. Be done with it.
See, you want me to be hot rodding. I'm trying to just cruise, man.
I'm sorry, Terry. Terry, did you say coyote?
This conversation's over.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got something in my earpiece. Hold on.
You were quiet.
Okay.
Do I have to get on you tonight? I've been practicing tonight for you.
Come on, Terry. I love you.
I love you back, man.
That's funny.
That wasn't a Mustang. Oh, I'm sorry.
That would be wild. A Coyote swapping a Chevelle. I get beat up for that.
Now you be safe in the hood. Don't worry. They won't be able to catch you. Don't worry.
That's fact. Those Coyote motors are nasty. I won't sit here and lie to you.
We got one that was totaled at one of my body shops, and I'm trying to figure out how I can sneak that Coyote out through the fence and nobody knowing it.
One piece at a time, Johnny Cash.
I tell you, man.
That's it.
Funny. How do you
They're having problems getting parts for it. They're having problems getting parts for it, so it's been sitting, and they pushed it back up against the fence, and I'm like, man, I think I can cut that fence. I think I can find a few things on the truck to cut that one out.
They just roll in a tool cart every day and you just roll it out with another piece in it. That's all.
There you go.
And the last night, go in big. Just be like, get it out of there.
What year Mustang is it in?
It's a fairly new one. I mean, it's like I to be honest, I don't even know what year, but it's
newer body style.
It's
just hire a flatbed and tell the people in the dealership that they're moving the car to another shop.
I asked the guy, I said, man,
feel like you've done that before, John.
He said of course the guy's extremely high strung. He's one of these guys that drink 3 Red Bulls and is all wound up on chocolate or something. He's like, I gotta get this car out of here because it's tying up. I'm not making any money on it. And I was just like, just keep pushing it a little closer to the gate, and I'll make sure we find a way for that thing to disappear.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear the story of Carroll Shelby? He back in the day, he rented cars to Hertz.
Yeah.
And the guys would rent the cars and steal the motors out of them and put V6s in them and take them back.
They would rent the car and go weld a roll bar in it and take it to the drag strip.
Or they'd pull out the hypo motor, just put in a regular 289 and send it back.
Yeah. I went to a shop and they had a tour. And this is last year he was alive, man. I got to meet him before he passed. Me and my wife, we talked to him for a minute. And it was a heck of a tour, man. When you leave out of there, you want a Mustang or a Shelby truck, man. I'm telling you. Or a Cobra. Yeah. I mean, you fired up when you come out of that place.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, those guys were a different breed, man. I've driven like the factory built Superformance Cobras. And I've driven like pretty much all the variations that they offer. I've driven the classic, Mark IIIs with the big and the BFGs, that had. And I do not understand how those guys drove those 427s on those non-radial tires, bro. I about put one of them into a curb, trying to get silly in one of them, man. Those things are insane.
Yeah.
And they were not built to get around turns real well. Back then.
You try turning those things and they understeer like crazy.
Super understeer. They got a lot of camber change, and those bias ply tires they roll underneath.
Yeah,
I
I don't get it. I really don't get it. Those guys
Technology is totally different now. I mean, you jump in a
sure.
brand new Mustang, and it's like being on rails.
Oh yeah.
I remember I saw an episode. I forgot what TV show. I just happened to catch this, and they took. I forgot what driver it was. It was like someone like Stewart. Who was the driver? I forgot who it was. It was a big NASCAR. This is like maybe 3 years ago. Big NASCAR name. I forgot who it was. And what they did was they pulled out like a car like Richard Petty's old like 70 Charger.
Oh yeah.
And they had him drive around the track with that thing.
Oh man.
They had like a new driver drive like the most iconic 43. What year was it? That was like a 71 Charger, the red and blue one.
Yeah. That was like yeah.
They had
Was
like
it the
a car
Daytona
equivalent to
Charger
that.
or a regular Charger?
No, the regular one.
No. They went into like the Hall of Fame, pulled this car out. Race Car Hall of Fame pulled this NASCAR of 1972 out car, and they let him drive it. And he was like
worn out.
He says, "There's no way I could drive." No.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is those cars, you actually have to drive them physically, keep them on the track. So it'd be like driving a dump truck nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, like 10 years ago, I went to Daytona to the Richard Petty thing, and you're driving a real NASCAR race car that's only like 2 years old. It's just, out of the system. Maybe mine was a Monte Carlo, and then there was that body change from the type of Monte that they were racing, and then they went to a new body. Yeah.
No.
So
it was a newer body, like the newer.
Yeah.
Body.
So we were I was, that's the style cars that they were driving at the time, and these were totally legit NASCAR stockers, and I was completely amazed at how much wheel action you got to put into this car to get around the Daytona high banks at 150 miles an hour. I was like so impressed when I got out of the car. I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me here!"
Yeah.
It was insane. You're driving, and I only went 10 laps, and I got out of the car and I'm like, "How did these guys do a 500-mile race in these things?"
Oh man, I couldn't even imagine.
How fast were you going, John?
All out. I went 151.90, almost
Yeah.
152.
We actually have one of those cars at the shop. It's Dick Trickle's old Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
But they just change the engine and transmission, but everything else is as raced.
Yeah.
And we blasted around a parking lot a couple times. We want to take it upstate. There's a couple tracks upstate, and you can bring your own car. So
Run with your
we're going to do it last summer, but they shut it down because of COVID. So
anybody that says NASCAR is not a sport doesn't understand.
Idiots if you don't think that.
Now, I won't sit here and say this is just my opinion. I can't sit here and say, because I've been to actually a NASCAR race in Vegas. It's not the most entertaining thing for a longevity standpoint. Because after you've seen them gone around the track 4 times, you've just seen it a million times. It's like, all right, is somebody going to wreck now or what? Like,
that's what it is. It's like hockey. You're waiting for a fight.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Years and years ago, my wife bought tickets to the Daytona 500. And we had never been to a NASCAR race, okay? So she got tickets right when you come out of pit row and you get into that first turn. So she found tickets that were like within like the first 6 or 7 rows from the front.
Oh, y'all probably, yeah.
So we were thinking, oh man, this is gonna be awesome. We get you can't see the whole track, okay? Because there's so much crap in the infield.
You see what's in
And the
front of you.
cars come
Trailers and all
by.
that. Yeah.
Right. The best seats are all the way at the top. Nobody knew.
And you were
So
probably
the place is loaded with all of these drunk rednecks. It was like, I'm like, oh my God. Couldn't believe it. I'm like, this is not my element. I'm a drag racer and I'm a dirtbag car guy, but these people were like underground. It was ridiculous. They were shot, stoned and drunk at 8:30 in the morning.
You went to a fight and a NASCAR race broke out.
Right.
Yeah,
So we're sitting there and they come off a pit road and they go around and making a couple of laps and a pace car goes in and everybody's on the hammer and they go by and it's just like,
Man.
and then you don't see anything because they're gone until they get to the back straight. And then all you hear is this drone of all of these engines.
Yeah.
And you watch them go down the back straight. Then they disappear. And then you don't see them again until they come into the last turn and come down the front straight. and she was like, "This is ridiculous. Never again."
Yeah.
We wound up leaving early because you got to park like 6 miles away, and they bring you to the track on buses. So they have these outsourced parking areas that you are forced to go to, and you get on a bus with 200 other people, and you drive for like 15 minutes, and they let you off.
Those same drunk people you're going to be driving with for it. I got you.
Right. So I said to her, you know what? There's 10 laps left. Let's get out of here now. Before the crowd, we got on the bus, got in the car, got back on I-4, heading back to where we are, and we just listened to the rest of the race on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
I had 10 years. I went to Daytona for 10 years. Yeah. And you just have to take in the atmosphere.
The fume.
Yeah.
No,
but the stuff that makes it different than drag racing, okay? If you're not somebody special, you don't get down in the pits and you don't see what's really going on down there.
Oh, well, you can. You just got to know how to do it.
Drag racing, you buy your ticket, you see everything.
Well, see, that was the thing.
Drag racing's everything to me. I mean, like, I used to drag race, and I miss it, you know? We actually just got that drag frame and getting ready to build another one so my stepdaughter can race. And
I had to get 2 different scanners because for me, you know, I could listen to one guy. I mean, I can go and listen to my driver and listen to his crew chief, and they're talking about the car and what they got to do, and you can see what they're doing on the track. Now, like my wife, she wanted to hear the announcers talk about the race. And, you know, so she's watching it like she's watching it on TV, and I'm watching it just because I'm watching one car. Right. So, like I said, I mean, it's all how you do it. You know, I had, like I said, 10 years. I had season tickets for 10 years down there.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
I didn't have scanners. I didn't have anything. We're just
sitting there. So I mean, you know, you just gotta know. And like I said, one year we used to go to Dover, and we get up at the crack of dawn, and I said, we're going, and the wife's like, the race isn't until 1. You know, it's 5 a.m. And I said, come on, we're going. We get up there, and of course, drive right in, park, you walk right through the gate, walk right into the garage, and then they closed it off because, you know, people are starting to come in. So now you're down in there. So now you're pretty much on pit row. And until somebody realizes that you don't belong there, you're pretty much stuck. So you're, you know, seeing all the activity and so forth.
I kind of knew, you know, what we were walking into kind of early. And as we were actually driving to where you park, there's this tremendous campsite. And there was a billboard for like beer or something, but the billboard wasn't high. Like the platform that the guys would stand on to change the billboard was maybe like 10 feet in the air. And there was 2 guys standing there at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning, peeing off the platform.
Nice.
My wife's like, "Oh my God."
When we went to Dover, that was sponsored by Budweiser back in the day. So you do the Bud Bash the night before. And boy, I tell you one thing, man, I woke up in the infield face down with the morning dew on one side and the grass on the other, man. I tell you, that was a rough.
I tell you what, say what you want, but I'm telling you what's happening, what's going to happen. Drifting is going to be the UFC of auto sports.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I got a lot of guys that do drifting.
Is what UFC was the boxing.
Yep.
Because these cats are real. I see these guys doing donuts going at 100 miles an hour down a straight.
Mm-hmm. Well, look at that video on Garrett's page.
I was going to say, that Corvette that he posted.
That dude was like
360 and then exiting, drifting.
Yes. I hit that as soon as I subbed up on you. I hit that video and I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I'm impressed.
See, I've had the pleasure of being able to ride with a number of like the big name drifters like Lauren Healy and Vaughn Gittin and Chelsea Denofa, just to name a few. And I remember one time I was riding with Vaughn and we hit a 360. We were drifting and he hit a 360 and then we came out of it. We didn't drift out of it into a turn, but we were just like on a skid pad and he hit a 360. It was the coolest thing ever, man. Like riding riding with a professional drifter, there's like no other feeling like it. Like it is absolutely insane the amount of control those guys have over those cars.
Yeah, that's the good thing is because they know how to control it. There's
how do you get that good? How many cars you got to
Practice.
mess up to get that good?
Oh, I don't know. It's just, I mean, it's a lot of practice. It helps that he's sponsored by Monster, so he can wreck cars, and it's just
You wreck cars left and right, you know.
But thankfully, he's good enough. He doesn't do that. That at least that often. I remember I was at Circuit of the Americas last year. Oh no, 2020, and it's crazy these years running through each other now. 2020, and I forget the driver's name that drives that Volkswagen Passat. It's a taxi cat. It looks like a taxi. It's a drift car. But anyways,
I've seen that car. I've seen a car like that. Yes.
We went out on Circuit of the Americas and was drifting Circuit of the Americas with that car.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The ones that blow me away are these burnout contests that they have like in Australia.
Yeah.
And you watch them doing those it's almost like drifting, but they're coming out of the pad and going around those tracks and burning the tires.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of those cars, I mean, they got to be running 2,000 horsepower or more.
They got the head sticking up out of one of those old Narrows. I'm just like,
wow.
Hey, Terry, should I show Arco my video of me doing the burnout in my Monte Carlo?
I'm surprised you haven't shown him already. I think Arco would like to see that. Yes, my brother. Show like this gentleman that burnout.
I balded my tires in 53 seconds. They were brand new tires, and they were gone in 53 seconds. Just to give you perspective.
You can share it.
I'll get it. I'll get it to you guys. What's it called? It was funny because had I not thrown the belt off my motor, I would have popped both tires, and that'd have been bad because then my quarters would have been gone.
The quarters would have been shot.
It would have been a bad deal.
And don't be shy, Garrett. Send a whole bunch.
Yeah, I got a few videos.
Yeah, let them see who Garrett is. Introduce the boys to Garrett.
I got a few videos, man. I don't know. I enjoy my cars because they're just, I don't know, they're different. Like my Escalade, it's I built it just because it doesn't make any sense. I'm a single dude, and there's no reason why I should have an ESV Escalade, But
why not?
I always wanted one, and it's just funny because I pull up to stoplights. And that thing hits that cam and that thing hits so hard. And people are like, where is that coming from? And then they look over at me and my truck's just, sitting there shaking. Or whatever. And it's all-wheel drive. And I mean, I kid you not, that car can pull. I mean, that SUV can probably line most vehicles off the line. And it weighs 6,300 pounds.
That's cool.
But, then they'll walk away from me because,
It weighs 6,300 pounds.
What about that what is that thing you got, Terry? That SUV that it's X10 or whatever it is? Or Trailblazer, yeah. Oh, he froze up, didn't he?
Looks like it.
It's cold where he lives.
I think it's colder here. Right now, I'm looking at the deal. It's 27 below zero right now.
Get the hell out of here. That's
You're kidding me. How could you live there?
Dead serious. Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Do you summer is like what, 2 weeks over there or something?
Oh, that's the most recent video. That's the most recent burnout.
All right,
play it down the bottom. Bingo. Oh, look at this guy.
Yeah, it throws the smoke up pretty easily, man.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way he edited the video was kind of cool. How it just kind of fades into white. But the other video was it was in 2019. I was at LS Fest East, and I was part of the burnout con. So just to give you a quick backstory, because I'm actually probably going to have to hop off here in a little bit. My battery's about to die on my computer. What was I going to say? So in 2019, I had got the car drivable. And me and my buddy left from Atlanta to go to Charlotte, North Carolina to start Power Tour 2019. The night after the first event, we were going to leave the next morning to go to Charlottesville, North Carolina, or Virginia. My car got stolen out of the parking lot of the hotel.
Oh,
mine along with 4 other cars.
Damn.
And long story short, they ended up finding my car a month and a half later, like 20 miles from where it got stolen. It was all intact, believe it or not. and I got the car back that following September. So this happened in June. I got the car back in September, and I did a burnout at LS Fest. I was the first car to go up and do it. And it's funny, I almost won the entire burnout competition, but it kind of was rigged because the last car that went was like an 80s Ford Fairmont that had a BDS 671 blower sticking out of the hood. And it just, you can't beat that. Even though I think my burnout was better, you kind of lose to the car with the BDS blower sticking out of the hood. So, and he was a Holly employee, so it was kind of rigged in that sense too. But
set up to fit.
yeah, really, they did set me up. But people told me if I'd have gone like in the last 3, that I probably could have won. But because I went first, the way they do the judging is like it's a crowd applause for each person after.
Yeah,
the highest volume applause. So I stayed in first for like the first 5 cars, and then
I saw that. It was very impressive, man. That Blue Monty was killing it.
I appreciate it. I just kept my foot to the floor. I didn't let it up, and just let the car keep bouncing.
My man was just like spinning,
I didn't care. I was like, if anybody's gonna blow this car up, it's gonna be me.
It's gonna be you.
It's gonna be me. And I didn't care. I thought I blew it up. When I was finished, I looked down at the gauges and it said 257 degrees. I was like, oh my God. Thankfully, that was only for like maybe 10 seconds. So I shut it off really quickly and we pushed it off. But I'm still on those same head gaskets.
Same head gaskets.
Still on those same head gaskets. So
if you get a chance on my YouTube channel, go check out the car show burnouts.
Okay.
And on our last car show that we just had, well, let me back up. But we used to have a guy that would come in here every time we go to leave the car show. Everybody was leaving to go home from our car show. They would say, "Can we do burnouts?" And we were like, "Well, we're not allowed to say that you can or cannot."
Right.
But Heidi would tell them you could leave excitedly, is what she'd tell them. So they just roast the tires off.
Right.
Well, this burnout contest started getting crazy, and then Trevor came in there with like a 69 or 70 Chevy pickup, and this thing's got like a LS3 or whatever it is in it, and just tears it up, just donuts and whatever. Well, this year at our car show, some hillbilly kid shows up, and everybody's rolling out of there, and they're doing burnouts and whatever. This kid came out, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I had to get people out of the way because this guy went absolutely berserk, man. Put on the biggest show we've ever seen at our car show. And he was in a like a 74 Chevy pickup, half ton, short bed, and he had just a beater small block Chevy in this thing, but he had a Muncie 4-speed in it. And he was doing this with a Muncie 4-speed, but he was you could tell he was hitting the throttle and the clutch and the brake all at the same time. Freaking dude was shifting gears while he was doing donuts. He was like 4th gear coming out of our car show, just out of control sideways, just doing donuts. It was so badass, bro. I was like, oh my God. I got it all on video too. It was like, and everybody just went absolutely nuts after this burnout, man.
That's
well, we're gonna build up a 68 GMC.
Yeah.
You know what you gotta do next year, Arco? You gotta set up a camera like up on a roof looking down.
Oh, that'd be so sweet, wouldn't it?
You know?
Yeah. Or a drone. Yeah, we've actually been talking about doing some different stuff. And this our car show, the first year we did our car show, we had a few cars, but now it's just we take over the whole town. It's pretty badass.
Hey, Heidi has a drone.
She'll crash it right into you. Yep.
Somebody said you were like the mayor of the town.
My feet are cold.
We own half of Big Falls, but
that's what they were saying. They were saying you like own the town and you run the town, and I don't know. Heidi was like the governor or something. I don't know.
Yeah, she calls us the Southsiders because we own the whole south side of Big Falls.
How big is the town?
Yeah, there's like 200 people in the whole town.
As a town owner, I think you should import some heat.
Yeah. Hey, it's now it's 28 below zero. So
hey, good.
Hey, well, listen, Arco has 2 cars for everybody in the town.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, we were talking about you last week.
Yeah.
About how you're not allowed to bring any kind of recording or electronic equipment into your lots where you got cars.
Yep. I only send private videos to people. I can send you a video, but you can't show it to nobody. We try to keep it a secret because we've had people go in there and steal stuff. So
Wow.
Yeah. Last week, whoever we were talking to that knows you says, well, if you go there, he's going to take your cell phone.
That was Joey
Can't have
from Mill Creek.
Yeah.
we're gonna pat you down.
Yeah.
Get one of those the airplane things.
Yeah. You're gonna get fingerprinted, and we're gonna do an FBI background check.
There you go.
Yeah, he's in the chat room saying that was him.
Now we're gonna have a good time. I can't wait to go up to Lewis Lee's shop.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. Actually, if you don't mind me talking about, you don't mind us talking about your event right now, do you, Lewis?
No, go ahead. No, you good.
I just talked to my buddy Jason from Iron Horse Garage, and he sent me some designs. We're trying to set up some like keychains or something that we can give people when we're at your event.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason's working on doing something like that, so I want to talk to you about that later.
Okay, great.
And,
great.
I'll show you. I'll send you some of the designs and show you what we're coming up with.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's sweet. So for the people that don't know, Arco, Terry, Joey, Tyler's hosting it at his shop. We're gonna cut my roof off the bus and lift it. And all these guys are coming in from Iron Horse, and a couple other gentlemen are coming in, and we're gonna make a big event out of it, man. We're gonna cut the roof off and put some windows in, and
we're gonna raise the roof.
We're gonna raise the roof. We're gonna eat cookies and milk.
Jesus.
You know, it's about to go down.
Cookies and milk.
Yeah.
Come on, you only eat vegetables.
Yeah, I got the chocolate chips right here.
There you go.
Well,
these guys, they called me from PRI in the hotel room with cookies and milk. I was like, you guys are partiers, but you know what's funny? I told them I'd be doing the same thing because I don't drink either. So it's like whatever.
Hey, when me and Terry get together, we got to have Oreos and a big glass of milk.
He came to my house.
Package of Oreos
Lewis came to my
day.
house last summer. Was it last summer, Lewis?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we, the wives went to sleep, and we went for a cookie. No, your wife went with us, didn't she?
Yeah, she went with us.
Okay, yeah, we went for a cookie run. I had to get my Oreos, man. I had to have my Oreos.
That's it.
And then when we were at PRI, we went. Tyler went for a cookie run, but he added milk to it. So that was
I was watching TV tonight. I was dunking ginger snaps in my coffee because the coffee was really hot. Before you know it, like half the cup of coffee was gone. That's how many ginger snaps I ate. Like sucked up half a cup of. That was a big cup.
There you go.
Hey, we're gonna have to get you over to Ohio, Garrett. Go to that roof raising deal for the bus for Lewis's event.
Oh, right on. When is it?
Yeah, January 29th and 30th in Youngstown, Ohio.
Is it gonna be this month?
Yeah. Yep.
Next year. Okay. Damn. Trying to think of my schedule, bro, because I may or may not be going to King of the Hammers.
Oh,
that's
King
so
of the
great.
I'm the King of the Hammers.
So Garrett, what we're doing is I bought a old school bus.
Yeah, you're making a conversion, right?
Yeah, I'm converting it into an RV. So the fellas gonna help me lift the roof because I'm 6'5", and I can't stand up in there, so I gotta go high.
I get it. Yeah, nah. If I don't have nothing going on, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be going to King of the Hammers.
What's the King of the Hammers? Explain that one to me.
It's a desert off-road race out in Johnson Valley, California. So if you go you fly into Ontario Airport in California, like east of LA, you basically take the mountain pass up over like a little bit northeast over Ontario, about 3-4 hours, and you're just literally out in the middle of the desert. And they literally a town is created by all of the racers. Like people come in, bring RVs and everything, and literally a town is created in the middle of the desert. And they have this massive off-road race that's 200 miles long. And it has a bunch of different things. So there's straight out, full speed runs. There's short course part of it. There's rock crawling. It's a really cool event, and so it's a long event too. There's different classes, and it goes. I think it's a week and a half event.
Yeah. I'm surprised I've never heard of that because I'm from California, bro.
It's so much fun, dude. It's so much. You got to look it up. It's so cool, and it's funny because all of the different locations that they race at or they have to come through for the race have some sexual connotation to them. So there's one of the rock crawling areas is called the Back Door. The other one's called Top of Thunder. There's a whole bunch. It's so funny, man. I went for the first time in 2019. I was out there with Optima batteries and learning about like all of the things. It's so freaking hilarious, dude. But
there was an episode on TV with that guy Aaron, that used to work for Gas Monkey.
Yeah, Aaron Kaufman.
That's right. He built the truck and went to that race. He didn't do too well. He blew that thing up.
Yeah, Vaughn.
Hey, Lewis, Tyler just texted me right now. He says that sounds a lot more fun than going to raising a damn bus. I'm gonna go over
hey, I could throw you guys off here,
blocked, like Joey Collins always says, blocked.
Yeah. But no, it's a lot of fun. So like at nighttime, there's a couple, like I said, there's a couple different areas, and so like people that aren't racers will bring their their buggies out or their trail rigs, and they'll go out there and actually try to conquer these rock crawling areas at night. So like you imagine you're out there in the desert, everybody has side by sides or ATVs. And so in the middle of the night, pitch black, all you see is headlights and those neon whips on people's side-by-sides. And they're just all up and down. It's so cool. And you get to these areas where they do the rock crawling and people are just parked up on these sand dunes. And everybody's just out there drinking, watching these dummies try to, go over these rocks. And I mean, it's technical.
Yeah.
Some guys, try to take the technical line. Some other guys just say, F it. And just like floor it through these things. And I mean, I'm really not giving it any justice by explaining it. You actually have to go. It's one of the coolest automotive events I've ever been to.
There's got to be some YouTube stuff.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Type in King of the Hammers. I'd be careful of typing in like backdoor and Chocolate Thunder.
Right.
You have to put King of the Hammers with that, otherwise. You may get something to see.
Well, that's in the regular searches anyway, so
Yeah. Incognito tab. You got to do an incognito tab.
Like, oh, you're back. Good to see you again.
Oh, yeah. That was great.
Yeah.
So hey guys, it's my bedtime because I'm old.
Yeah. Oh, come on. I haven't had dinner, so I'm going to go eat some dinner too. So,
I got to put this one to bed.
Listen, I got a sponsor for our food, so we're going to eat good.
Sweet.
Some barbecue.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be surprised. But
Red Lobster?
Food. We got food coming. Yeah, we have one lobster we all can share.
No.
Hey, nice meeting you, Garrett.
It was nice
Garrett.
I subscribed to you on YouTube, man. I'm gonna check.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man. I'll hit you up on YouTube and stuff and Instagram.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, Garrett. Listen, I tell all the guests that come on that once you're on here, you're family, man. You can come on anytime. If you have something you want to promote, or you just want to come hang out with us, this is what we do every Thursday. You know what I mean?
Right on. No, I appreciate that, man. For real. Thank you for having me, and thanks for the time. It was a lot of fun. Nice meeting you guys. Hopefully, I'll meet all the rest of you guys in person.
Garrett, I'll probably be hitting you up for a radio show interview one of these days.
Okay.
I'll get your info from Lewis.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, he has a worldwide syndicated radio show, Motor Mouth Radio. So
right on.
You get on there, man. You really hit it. You big dog.
That would be happy to take the scraps of your followers.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Hey, I wish there was a way I could just be like, just pick them up and drop them. I wish that was the easiest way.
Well, whatever.
All right, yeah, we appreciate it, man. These guys, they stay on, so you're welcome to stay on. Ray runs the after party, so
okay. Yeah, I got my mom actually.
Like this show? Want more? Then head to WatchPTTV.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.